evidence, personal testimonies recorded. On top of the 3,000, have it roped off, and you can look at it and look inside. And but that's it. Are we on? Oh, okay. Thank you for joining us again, those of you who are at home. And I know because of personal letters I've received, there's some of you in Georgia, some of you in Tennessee, and some of you in Virginia that join us every Sunday, and of course, local people. And I want to say hi to Hannah. Hannah, I'm getting interrupted this week. It looks like between the things. Y'all gonna holler, "Hey, Hannah"?
Sure. Yeah.
Go for it.
Hey, Hannah!
Oh, boy. They've never made a poster board for me. Oh, help us, Jesus. There's all kind of odd and curious stories tied to the resurrection of Jesus because there were so many eyewitnesses and historical accounts. And I'm going to take one person that I've never given this kind of attention to, and that's Mary Magdalene and the resurrection morning. There's all kind of stories swirls around the resurrection morn. For example, it says in the Bible that during the resurrection of Christ, many believers were resurrected during the same morning. And that's something you don't hear elaborated on very often. It's one of the major miracles. I mean, you know, what would you think if all of a sudden Uncle Henry showed up at the house and said he's hungry, and wait a minute, Uncle Henry died 6 months ago. He's in the living room now and he's hungry. Amen? So, Mary Magdalene and the resurrection. John chapter 20. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene. Early when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and sees the stone taken away from the sepulchre. Then she runs, Bible says, and goes to Simon Peter and the other disciple whom Jesus loved, and to the sepulchre. And then we have a similar report in Mark chapter 6, similar report in Mark chapter 16, verses 1 through 4. And when the Sabbath was passed, themselves, who shall roll away the stone from the door of the sepulchre? And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away, for it was very great. Now when Jesus was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he cast 7 demons. Okay, and verse 9, oh, that's it. When Jesus was risen, he first appeared to Mary Magdalene. First one he made contact with is what it's saying. Luke chapter 24, verses 1 through 3. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came to the tomb, the sepulchre, bringing spices, which they had prepared first. Luke chapter 8. Came to pass afterward, he went throughout every city and village. Who? Jesus. Preaching. And upon the initial contact with her, and upon the initial contact with her, she was possessed by 7 different demonic entities, and he cast them out. And Mark chapter, Mark chapter 15, verse 40 and 41. There were also women looking on afar off. This is at the cross as Jesus was being crucified. They're standing afar off. Now the disciples are gone. They didn't hang around. When he was in Galilee, followed him. When he was in Galilee, followed him and ministered unto him. Who? The women. And ministered unto him. Who? The women. And many other women which came up with him unto Jerusalem. It seems the Scriptures reveal very clearly the women who were the disciples and followers of Christ were with him in his service constantly. And they witnessed the same stuff Peter and John, Matthew and Mark witnessed. And now she's called Mary Magdalene because Philip makes reference to Mary Magdalene as the companion. That's what she was called, the companion. She was also made reference to by Christian historians in the 1st and 2nd century. Get this, the apostle of all the apostles. That's what she was identified as in their writings to letters. As a matter of fact, it got a little bad for Peter because there's letters written from Matthew to, other than the book of Matthew, letters written that they uncovered in the late 1500s and uncovered more letters in the middle 1800s that Matthew writes to Peter a letter about his jealousy over Mary Magdalene being called the apostle of the apostles and the companion. And Matthew tells Peter, look, cool it, dude, in the Greek. He said, pipe down. He's the Messiah. If he wants to make reference to her as the apostle of the apostles and the companion, then so be it. He's the Lord. Leave it alone, man. You're too emotional. That's what Matthew told Peter. And so, of course, to Peter's credit, he was the only one that stepped out of the boat and walked on water.